Your mechanic can see the problem, he just isn't allowed to fix it. Somewhere in America right now, a truck is sitting on a lift with its hood open, and the man standing over the engine has 30 years of experience and not one legal way to finish the job. The code is right there on his scanner. The fix might take 20 minutes, but the software that would let him clear it belongs to someone else, and that someone else has decided he doesn't get to use it. That man's name is Dale Whitmore. He's run an independent repair shop outside Terre Haute, Indiana for 22 years. By the end of this, you'll understand why the truck in your driveway may no longer belong to you the way you think it does. This isn't a story about broken parts. It's a story about who owns the right to fix them. There are roughly 160,000 independent auto repair shops in the United States. Together, they employ close to 900,000 mechanics, and a growing share of them are being locked out of the vehicles parked in their own bays. Dale Whitmore's customer drove in with a 2021 heavy-duty diesel pickup. The engine light was on. The truck ran fine, barely. Dale plugged in his scanner and found the fault in under 5 minutes. A faulty emissions sensor, a $180 part. A simple job on paper. But to actually clear the fault and reset the truck's onboard computer, Dale needed access to the manufacturer's proprietary diagnostic platform. That access wasn't for sale to him. It was only available through the truck's dealership network. So the customer had two choices: drive 80 miles to the nearest dealership, or pay Dale for a part he legally couldn't finish installing. This is the villain of our story, and it isn't a person. It's a system. Manufacturers have built a wall of proprietary software around modern trucks, and that wall decides who is allowed to repair American vehicles and who isn't. The system doesn't announce itself. There's no press release, no warning label on the windshield. Owners find out the same way Dale's customer did. One repair at a time, one denied access at a time. And every time it happens, the same quiet message gets sent. This truck runs on your money, but it answers to someone else. But this is only the surface layer. To understand how we got here, go back to the 1990s. Back then, a truck engine was mechanical. A good mechanic with a wrench and a manual could fix almost anything. There was no gatekeeper standing between the tool and the truck. Then came onboard computers. Emissions regulations tightened, engines got smarter, and manufacturers realized something valuable. If repair information lived inside proprietary software, they could control who accessed it. Control, access, profit. By the 2000s, diagnostic systems required manufacturer-specific software licenses. By the 2010s, many of those licenses cost independent shops thousands of dollars a year per brand just to read the same codes a dealership technician could read for free on their own floor. Then trucks went further. Telematics, remote software updates, systems that phone home to the manufacturer every time something goes wrong. Stop, pause, listen. Today's truck doesn't just have an engine. It has a relationship with its manufacturer that lasts long after the sale, and independent mechanics were never invited into that relationship. Manufacturers say this protects safety and prevents tampering. Independent shops say it protects something else entirely, a repair monopoly worth billions. Every layer added to that system, every new sensor, every new software gate, increased the distance between the person who owns the truck and the person legally permitted to open it up. What began as an emissions safeguard became something closer to a toll booth, and the toll gets paid by whoever's truck happens to break down. But here's what most people get wrong. Here is the number that explains everything: $45,000. That's the average cost for an independent repair shop to become fully equipped to service a modern heavy-duty truck across just 3 major manufacturers: diagnostic hardware, annual software subscriptions, and mandatory technician recertification. To put that in perspective, $45,000 is more than the median American worker earns in an entire year. It's the price of a brand new pickup truck, paid not for a vehicle but simply for permission to legally open the hood of one. And that cost doesn't come once. Manufacturer software subscriptions typically run $3,000 to $8,000 per brand per year. A shop that wants to service Ford, GM, and Ram trucks, the 3 most common on American roads, is looking at renewing that access annually, forever, just to stay in business. Now here's the counterintuitive turn. You would think dealerships charge more because they do better work. They don't necessarily. Dealership labor rates run $180 to $220 an hour in most states, compared to $90 to $120 at an independent shop. That's not a quality gap, that's an access gap, priced directly into your bill. Independent mechanics aren't less skilled. Many of them trained at the very same technical programs dealership technicians did. The difference isn't in the hands doing the work, it's in who was handed the key to the software. The manufacturer isn't just selling you a truck, it's selling your mechanic the right to touch it, and quietly deciding that most independent mechanics can't afford the price of admission. Which means the $45,000 barrier doesn't just hurt shop owners like Dale Whitmore. It gets passed straight to you, the truck owner, every single time you need a repair that used to take an afternoon and now takes a special trip, a special login, and a special fee. Multiply that weight across a fleet, and the math gets even heavier. A small trucking outfit running 6 vehicles can lose upward of $2,000 a day in downtime, waiting for a single dealership slot to open up. Money that never shows up on the repair invoice, but drains out of the business all the same. The dealership isn't fixing your truck faster because they're better. They're the only ones legally allowed to. If you've ever felt like your truck doesn't quite belong to you anymore, you were right. You paid for it. You maintain it. You make the payments. But somewhere inside that engine, a manufacturer decided that the knowledge required to fix it would stay locked behind a paywall you were never told existed. Most truck owners don't realize this until the moment they need it least, stranded or standing in a shop, hearing the words, "We can't clear that code here." Here's what almost nobody outside the industry understands. This isn't a technology problem. Manufacturers have the ability to open this access tomorrow. They choose not to, because the current system is enormously profitable, and because most owners never ask why. You now know something most drivers never will, that the price of a repair isn't set only by the part or the labor. It's set by who's allowed to hold the tool. That knowledge changes how you look at your next repair bill. It changes which questions you ask before you agree to a price. And it puts you in a small, growing group of owners who no longer accept "that's just how it works" as an answer. Which brings us to what happens next. Right to repair laws are beginning to move through state legislatures across the country, and every one of them is being fought, quietly, by the same manufacturers who built the wall in the first place. Some states have already passed versions of these laws. Manufacturers have already found ways around them. This isn't a fight that ends with one vote. It's a fight that continues every year a new truck rolls off the line with one more layer of software wrapped around its engine. Dale Whitmore is still there, 6 days a week, doing what he can with the access he's allowed to have. Because the next time your check engine light comes on, the question won't be whether your mechanic can fix it. It will be whether he's still allowed to.